There's no such thing of sin, and that's what I want to talk about. You know, religion teaches you about sin and that you can sin against God and sin is evil and blah, blah, blah. There's no such thing of it, though. Like, what proof do you have that sin is a real thing? Like, there is no proof of that. The only thing you could point to is what religious people told you. That's it. There's no such thing as sin. Sin is a concept developed by men to keep one living in fear. There's no such thing as sin. Now, like, I really don't like that word, but because of the religious context, or like what I hear when I hear that word sin, I can only think of it in a religious context. But using that word, you can sin, like, you can't sin against God, and that's what I mean. There's no such thing as that. Now, you can sin against yourself, though, right? Possibly. Like, there's so many different spins on it, and you know, so let's just go with this, though, for the sake of me trying to make a point. Like, that could be debated, whether you could sin against yourself or not. It could definitely be debated. Like, I could, but let's just go with it, that you can sin against yourself. Now, how can you sin against yourself, though? You can sin against yourself by putting yourself in situations and circumstances that you don't like, right? How do you do that? By the decisions you make, the choices you make, right? You can sin against yourself by being stupid and doing stupid shit and making dumb decisions, right? You can sin against yourself by not following your heart or your gut or your intuition, your instinct, like whatever you call it, the God in you, right? You can sin against yourself in these kinds of ways. You can sin against yourself by doing things that you know you shouldn't do, doing things that you know better than doing. And you can sin against yourself by not doing what you know to do, right? But, you know, and in that context, you sin against yourself because you're creating, when you do things that you know you shouldn't do, and when you don't do what you know you should do, and when you don't follow your heart or your intuition, your gut, that voice inside of you, what you feel, when you go against these things, then you create circumstances and situations that you don't want. You create undesirable situations and circumstances, unpleasurable, unwanted situations and circumstances. That's how you sin against yourself, right? Like, if you want to be healthy, but you're poisoning yourself every day by eating a bunch of bullshit, you're sinning against yourself. Right? If you want to be healthy, but you never exercise, you never work out, you never stretch, you're sinning against yourself. Right? If you want to be the best version of yourself that you can be, but you don't take any time investing in yourself, you're sinning against yourself. If in this life all you acknowledge is your humanity and you ignore your divinity, you sin against yourself. If you don't take time to develop the spiritual side of you, right? You understand, hopefully you understand that you're not a human being at all. You are a spirit being having a human experience. But if you spend this life only in tune with your humanity, only identifying of your humanity, being only aware of your humanity, and you totally neglect your essence, like who you really are, the spiritual side of you. You never take time to get in tune with your spirit, to be aware of your spirit, to observe your spirit. You just totally neglect all of that. You're sinning against yourself, because it's your spirit. Spirituality is your essence. Everyone is spiritual. We're all spiritual beings. We're all spirit. But if you don't take any time to get in touch with that and get connected with that, get in tune with that, to understand that, you're sinning against yourself, because that's where all your power is. That's where the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding is. That's where your strength is. And so if you ignore all of that, you will go through this life weak, vulnerable, deceived, ignorant, stupid. And you will never be the best version of yourself that you can be. You will never truly prosper and be successful. So these are ways you can sin against yourself. Right? But you can't sin against God. Like, it doesn't even make sense, because God created you. Like, everything about you, you were given. Everything about you was designed. Everything. The stuff that you think is bad about you was created. It's by design. You are not flawed. Like, you're flawed if you judge yourself from a human perspective, but if you judge yourself from a spiritual perspective, from your creator's perspective, you're not flawed. You're exactly how you were designed to be. Everything about you is exactly how it's supposed to be. So, and nothing you have is of yourself. Everything you have, you receive. Everything about your personality, your desires, your likes, your dislikes, your passions, what you love, what you hate, everything about you was given to you. It was put inside of you. You were created to be exactly the way you are. So it doesn't even make sense that you can sin against God, but you can sin against yourself. And if you're not living a life that you enjoy, that you love, that you're excited about, then it's probably because you're sinning against yourself a lot. If you're always stressed out and depressed or anxious, full of worries and concerns and fears, it's probably because you're sinning against yourself. Right? And I'm gonna stop there. I was gonna say something else, but I'm gonna stop there. And I hope you like this video. I hope you like the scenery. This is my new spot. Well, it's not a new spot, but I just found this spot. I've been searching for it for a little while. My spot where I camp at is actually at the top of this water fountain, right next to it. And so I just wanted to see what was on the bottom. And before I get out of here, let me show y'all this. Black sand. Black sand is at the bottom of this waterfall. All of that is black sand. But yeah, so, just wanted to share that with y'all. And, you got comments, whatever perspectives you like to share, anything you want to add to that, like whatever, then put it in the comments.